Hello everyone, welcome back to another one of these videos. Today we are playing Into the Breach again, and we'll just go ahead and get into it. We're going to be using the Wrestling Hulks. This is one of the new squads that we unlocked after we won with the Riftwalkers. We could see them here in the Zenith Guard. And we're just gonna, I think my goal of this series eventually is just going to be to play and ideally win a run with each of these squads, potentially including this secret squad, although that one is hard to unlock. And then after that, we might call it good. I'm not completely sure yet, but yeah. We'll be playing with the Wrestling Hulks. I'll go over what they do in a minute. Let's see, what are the goals here? Overpowered stormy weather, perfect battle. Perfect battle honestly isn't too bad. That one we could easily achieve, I think. Okay. And we're going to be using Lily Reed as our time travel, so we'll go and get into it. I was thinking about turning on advanced content or not. I think for now, since we're still going through and kind of, I guess, experiencing some of the islands, we just won't, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and drop them in here. The main mechanic of this troop set, I guess, or this squad, is smoke. So that is something which means that this island in particular will actually be pretty easy for us. So we might instead just start by going through maybe Archive and then hitting up some of the other ones before we go back here. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, okay. So, let's see, we'll just go ahead and go into, I guess, this level. We have to kill 7 enemies and protect this bar. Shouldn't be too bad. And now we'll just go and place these here. Now we can real quick go over what each of these does. I might actually move my pilot to a different one. I realize that maybe I should have strategized that a bit more. Hard to say. But, yeah. Okay. So, first we have this unit right here. This is our jet mech, and it has an attack, as you can see right here, which will essentially jump over an enemy and place smoke on it. Smoke is a, I guess, tile effect that just disables attacks when enemies are in the tile. And this is a flying unit, so we can bring it over water without any issues, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I was thinking about honestly putting her on this unit for the future. This is what I was thinking may make sense, but that's okay. Let's see, we're just going to end up doing this. Then we'll go over here, jump over this unit. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what this unit does. I guess you already kind of saw it as it shoots a artillery that deals 2 damage and pushes backwards, but it also puts a smoke behind it, which can be useful. And lastly, I guess with this unit, we're just going to push this over 1 into this forest and enter. There's also a passive on this unit that makes all the smoke deal 1 damage to enemy units when they're in it, and this unit just repels enemies in all 4 directions. So you usually kind of want it to be in the center of things, but it can be useful for pushing enemies into smoke. Okay. Let's see, is this unit close enough to do that? It is. Cool. Okay, so then I guess my plan here is going to be to push this enemy into the smoke to cancel its attack. With this unit, I'm going to jump over this, smoking it, which will also disable it will also disable its attack. And lastly, we're going to actually launch a rocket this way to put some smoke on this unit, because that's the only way that we can get smoke onto it. Now you can see these units are all going to take some electric damage. I'm also now realizing that that probably blocking some of these enemies means we won't get the kill 7 enemies thing, but that's okay ultimately. We miss an objective, that isn't necessarily the end of the world to me. Okay. So I guess then what we're going to end up doing here now, yeah, we only have, we're 1 enemy short. Okay, if I hadn't blocked them, we wouldn't have been able to. That's okay. Something that's nice about this unit, though, is it can actually just escape these with its attack, which is pretty cool. And then we can just push that unit into there, and there we go. We have done at least one of the objectives. That's okay. We might also actually... I don't think that was 12 damage dealt with those, which is unfortunate, but we got an okay amount of damage through the electricity. Alright. So we did secure that region. I guess we'll go ahead and go for one of these 2. I think for us it's easier to not have to not kill something. Oh, I forgot I was going to swap her off. Well, that's okay. I guess we'll play around with this a bit more. Maybe having her on the jet isn't that bad, because this unit still does benefit from having good positioning. Really, the only one that I think it would make no sense to put her on is the ranged unit. I guess I forgot to mention, if you didn't watch my previous one, what she does. She's a pilot whose gimmick is on the first turn, she gets 3 additional movements. So you can just do things where you basically set her up really quickly. So like, for instance, we can do this, which is pretty nice. And anyway, I think what my goal with this then is going to be is just to push this thing over here, and then I'm going to get onto this and kill that unit. We got a time pod, which is just something that will give us additional benefits later. It usually will either be a equipment, or it will be a additional traveler. Either one of them is very nice. Alright, so let's just see now. This is a unit that, essentially what they do is they just give every other unit an additional health while they're alive, so we want to ideally deal with that one as quickly as possible. What I think we'll probably end up doing then is going ahead and shooting this unit right here. This then makes attack nothing, but it also puts a storm in a nice square, so enemies can't really attack those. Then I think the other stuff I'm going to do is, how many turns do we have left? 3 turns. Cool. So that means I have enough time to kill this enemy functionally, and then we're just going to heal with this unit. And then we're just going to let the electricity do its job. When this one dies, since that one only had 1 HP, it just also dies, which is pretty nice. Now we just set up block spawns one more time, which shouldn't be too difficult to achieve. Yeah, okay, there we go. Cool. So now what we will end up doing is just going over here, killing that unit. We're again going to leverage the fact that we can just do this to get out of attacks, and then with this unit we are just going to heal, I think. Yes, and then we will enter. And now we have functionally beaten this level. We only really now have 3 units to deal with, and they shouldn't be too difficult at this point. One thing that this group can, or rather this squad can sometimes run into problems with is if there's too much electricity, it can be difficult to, I guess, properly, like, do attacks sometime. But I don't think that we're really running into that problem currently. We're just going to, again, do this to block that one from doing things, and then we will repulse this one into some electricity. I'm realizing I actually probably should have done that a bit differently. We're actually just going to use a turn reset because, yeah, I messed that up slightly. I'm realizing I actually just wanted to do this. And then we could still, again, do this kind of thing. We're doing this instead of just shooting it because we can't actually kill it in time. And then with this unit, it doesn't really matter. We'll just move here and heal, I guess. Cool. And now we've also protected all the stuff we need to, and we're ultimately doing okay on the silent. Alright. Oh yeah, and this unit's also been promoted now. Let's see what the time pod gets us first, though. Okay, we got Isaac Jones and a reactor core. Isaac Jones gives an extra reset turn every mission, which is okay. We have found this pilot, though. She also gives us 3 additional grid defense, which is decent. Okay, here's what we're going to do, though. First of all, I do think that I will replace Elizabeth with her. She's just pretty good. And ultimately, I guess we can just put Isaac Jones here. Currently, it doesn't completely matter where we put him. The only thing that's relevant is that he has a good amount of experience. The temporal reset, as long as we put him somewhere, we get the use of, so again, it doesn't completely matter. I think what we're probably going to do is install one here and put it into shield self, just because that is an extremely useful thing this thing can do. It's gain shield so we can start taking damage. Eventually we will also want to put on shield friendly, I think. And we might actually, if we get a second one, just swap it over to do shield friendly instead, so we can then just be shielding buildings as well. Okay. Let's see. So I think we get 2 more missions, so we're going to go for this defend the train and then one of those, I think. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this in here. We want this one over here, although I guess its positioning doesn't matter. It'll be able to make it to most places on the map. Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. These units aren't being too bad. what order does train go? Cool, it goes after this kind of thing occurs, so we can then... whoops, that is not the unit I thought it was. I was meaning to do it with this unit. We can then just jump over this. The environmental effect will happen at the beginning of the fight, so we should then be good. Okay. And so I guess then what we can do is just eliminate this unit. And then we will go ahead and go over here and then just do this to shield. And that should be good. Now if I've ordered this correctly, yep, there we go. That one is now dead. That one will attack that force, which doesn't really matter completely. And this train will go into here. It of course should be fine. Yeah, and then these Vec are just going to focus the train, which isn't ultimately a huge deal for us. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and launch this right here. That push the Vec onto there, so we'll just hit that. Now we're just going to do this as well. And then we will again use a repulse, except I think we're going to move into a slightly better location before we do this. There we go. Cool. So yeah, we can already see the shield is paying us nicely. I guess in the respect that it's just taking place of us healing, but it also means that if we need to do things with this unit or have it take damage, it will have the health still to do that. Yes. Okay. Now we just got one turn left. I think realistically we can probably just go ahead and do this, jump over that unit, and then if we kill this unit, that'll put the unit down here into position to just die to electricity, which will be nice. And now we have dealt with this mission perfectly fine. And this actually gets us an achievement as well, which is just something for essentially perfecting a level, so that's nice. That means we'll have some money to purchase things later. Okay, cool. Now we can choose one of these two. I guess we'll go ahead and choose this one, the air support one, just because air support is generally pretty nice. So to be careful to be sure we don't put ourselves in situations where it's hard for us to deal with. Well, that's terrible air support positioning. But yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, so I think what my plan then should be is to first of all move this unit here and then just actually here, we'll move it here to do this just so it puts smoke on a better location. And then we can go ahead and push this unit over one. And now with the plane, we're able to go through units as well with it, which is nice. We will just go ahead and do that. There we go. So we're not actually getting any use out of the air support this turn, but ultimately that's not the end of the world, honestly. We more or less just want to be sure that we're not getting hit with it ourselves. And ideally, some units might run into positions where the air support could be used. Okay. Let's see. I guess then the plan should be first of all to do this, so we can free this unit, have it not just die. And then I guess I'll go ahead and... Because I could just kill this unit right here, and I think I might. Or what I may instead do is something like this, just to smoke it. And then with this unit, we will just push this over out of the way. There we go. That should be fine. I ultimately think getting more electricity around the map might be useful because it just limits the options that these units have, which hopefully means that they'll actually come in towards the air support. Because it's kind of annoying that they aren't currently, just that's not great. Okay. Okay, cool, that unit will get hit by air support. And it's not doing anything, that unit will also die. And that unit is going to go over there. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is something we can handle then. What we will do is just do that real quick. Then we will move this unit over here, have it snipe that. And then I guess here we can just push this unit over here. It ultimately doesn't really matter. There we go. Now the airstrike will come in, kill both of those, and then we just have these two units left to deal with. Or, was that the last turn? No, it was not. There just aren't any, that's right, yeah, there just aren't any summoning because we took enough damage, but that's okay. Then what we can do here is just repulse this over here, and then we are done. Cool. Yeah, usually this is ideally how I want the airstrike missions to be going, is we can just kind of push enemies into there and then just leave them. Just because usually they get summoned more frequently on these missions, I believe. Oh, nice. +1 mech reactor. That's actually really good. Okay. Where do we want to put it? I think for now it makes sense just to probably give this one additional movement, I think. Okay. Nice. Now we have to go defeat the Scorpion leader and protect the tower. Alright. And given the amount of time this took, I might actually do 2 islands on this episode. I'm not 100% sure yet, but this thing took a short enough period of time. But yeah, defeating the leader should actually be pretty easy for us because our positioning is a lot simpler than it would have to be otherwise. Like, for example, we can just have Isaac jump over it and put electricity on it, and that is good enough. Similarly, we can do something like this. And I think then we have a few options here. I think what we're going to do is just do this. Just deal some passive damage. But yeah, the fact that we can just kind of jump over the Scorpion in most cases is going to be very nice for us. Or we can launch smoke in the opposite direction. Like, we will just be essentially always doing that set of options. Okay. We'll see. This one might have to take some damage. I'm trying to see if there are any ways that I can efficiently deal with it, and it currently doesn't really look like it completely, just because this unit is so far away. Right, because, like, I'm thinking for this, I do that. And then, yeah, I can't really jump over both of these. That's okay. What it means is we'll just do this just to get a damage off on it, and then we will just repulse both of those, and we'll accept that we're going to take a damage, but that's ultimately not as large a big deal, given that we just didn't really have a great way to deal with it because of the positioning the Scorpion Leader forced on us. I'm not going for like a completely perfect run or anything, so it's not a huge deal, I don't think. Okay. We'll see if we're going to be able to deal with all of these enemies, though. We may not be able to, completely just given our positioning. Though maybe we will. Hard to say. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's unfortunate. Neither of these are really lined up where we can have this one shoot backwards and then hit one of them. So, since we want to kill this, we are going to go over here and then just do that. Push it into there. Furthermore, we're again going to have to just choose to sacrifice a building. That's okay. We're going to do this to that unit just because it's there. And oh wait, that's that is the corporate tower. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we don't really have a great way to deal with it. I guess here I'll do a turn reset and see if I can think of anything better. I'm not currently seeing a great way to handle everything, though, which is, I mean, that is just how this game works, you know. Yeah, this one is one square too far away, because, like, I could do something like this. Just launch that over there. But I believe if I go over to this unit, like, if I try to run into here to push it over, because of the smoke we already had to place, that's going to be a problem. I could instead, I'm not sure how much movement he would have, 4 squares, so I don't know if he'd be able to go far enough, but I guess we can see. I ultimately have another turn reset, so it's not the end of the world if this doesn't work out properly. Okay, yeah, unless, no, that unit is affected by smoke still, so yeah, we can't really do anything with this. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of options here. I guess we could just sacrifice this building instead, and that's probably just what I'm going to do, because ultimately if we're going to take a damage, I would rather take one in a position where it matters more, and we'll also just go ahead and do that. So this one will deal a damage to that building, but ultimately that I think is better than having it hit the hit the corporate tower, just because that gets us a star. But yeah, we shall see. Okay, we have this in a good position. I just want as many units as possible, honestly, to swarm around our units. Okay. So, let's see. One other thing we're going to run to is if we want to kill this, we'll probably have to make more sacrifices. We'll see if that's worth it. It might just not be worth it to actually kill this. Regardless, I'm going to need to use one of these 2 units on it. I guess then it makes sense to do this one. Now then, let's see. Okay, so ideally then I want to get this unit over here, but I don't think there's a great way to do that. Okay, let's see. I might just end up then doing this, and then just going ahead and pushing that unit back, and we will take 2 more grid damage, which means we are leaving this in a worse position, but we will get some stars for it at least, which is good. Maybe our grid defense will hold up. It probably will not. Okay. Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate to see that we're leaving the power grid in this state, but that is also okay. Depending on what we have, we might just end up buying a reactor core anyway. Repair field is nice. Shield projector, I think we absolutely want this. We're also going to just sell that because there isn't a reason to not do that, rather. We're going to also take a reactor core, and then I think, unfortunately, I do have to take 3 of those. Now, we do have a science mech. We're going to put this on. We're going to then take off that and put a reactor core into this. Oh wait, no, that's +1 use. Well, that's okay. We'll set that into shield friendly. And nice. Okay. I think actually I was originally considering extending this to be 2 islands, but I think this has taken enough time where it would make the video too long to do 2, so we will just end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.